Okay, Oscar fans, the Derby is done. Our Oscars are days away. And to quote T.S. Eliot in The Wasteland, hurry up, please, it's time. Hurry up, please, it's time. You must lock and load your predictions. And stop equivocating. And here to help you, we've got Gold Derby and Penske Media's finest. We have Ann Thompson from Indiewire, Tim Gray from Variety, Pete Hammond from Deadline Hollywood. I'm Tom O'Neill from Gold Derby. And you first. Well, because I want you to put your stake in the ground for Nomadland so I can come punching at it.
All right. Now, I'm confident. I am 100% confident. It's all the precursors. You can take the WGA out. That wasn't eligible, but it's absolutely primed to win. And for those who want to make arguments for Chicago 7 or, I will say that I think it's possible that Trial of the Chicago 7 could go down winning nothing.
Wow.
That it could go down winning 1 for best editing. I'm not kidding. It could play out that way if Nomadland goes the way that I think it's going to, and Promising Young Woman. It's really one of those odd things where a seemingly popular movie that keeps winning things. If you look at SAG, Chicago won against Minari. That doesn't mean anything. Nomadland wasn't competing with it at SAG. And if there's so many reasons why Nomadland is secure and Chicago 7 is not.
Anybody agree or disagree with that?
Oh, I agree. Here's the thing. If there's going to be an upset, and Nomadland is the front runner, that you're going to hear it. You're going to get the buzz. You're going to get that. I definitely got that the year of Brokeback Mountain, which had won even more than Nomadland had won. Yet the Academy members that I talked to all thought Brokeback was going to win. None of them had voted for it. Literally, I can tell you this. I remember it like it was yesterday. I talked to about 25 people. There was only one person, an Oscar-winning writer-director, who told me he voted for Brokeback Mountain. The rest were all crash, and you could just feel it. You could just feel it going. And that's when I wound up predicting Crash based on that, even though most of them thought, I think it's going to be Brokeback, but I actually voted for this. That's what would need to happen. I don't find that. I find a lot of people are for Nomad, are there for other things, but I don't see a wave. And I need to see a wave if there's going to be an upset. I don't see an upset in that category.
And I have one other reason to support Nomadland, which is that even if Promising Young Woman is as that's the one that's more popular. That's the one people talk about.
That's my favorite one.
People are very high on Promising Young Woman. There's no question about it. But they're also more divisive on that. There's some who love it, some who don't love it. But the reason why I believe Nomadland will win has more to do with the way the Academy wants to present itself. Mm-hmm. It's the one. It's the zeitgeist play. It's the one that expresses how we feel about the pandemic, our isolation. It's the one that is written and directed and brought to fruition by this extraordinary woman, Chloe Zhao, and they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think so. I do think that's going to happen. I think she's a lock in the best director.
She category. Is absolutely there.
Yeah, no question there. I don't see it now, and this is one of the things I'm changing from my earlier printed predictions in our digital issue in screenplay. I don't see it winning screenplay. Nomadland.
But Nomadland?
Yeah.
No, I do not see that.
Yeah.
Are you going with The Father?
I am. I'm going to go with The Father.
I'm thinking that too, actually.
Yeah, actually, I am too. Yeah.
It could be something else, but Nomadland is largely a lot of it improvised with these real life people and their stories, the nomads. She also veered from the book. There's many reasons not to vote for that as a screenplay, and also just why give her one after another after another. They want to spread the wealth, I think, and writing is definitely a place they can do that.
Yeah, but also, again, it's one of those things where a few years ago with Roma, Yalitza, who was nominated for actress, a lot of the advanced publicity was like she'd never acted before. He walked her through this, blah 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 blah, and ultimately she was never going to win Best Actress because of all that. And I think with Nomadland, again, all the advanced buzz is it was improvised, it was on the moment, and that's not necessarily a well-crafted screenplay. I think the film works well, and I think it is going to win Best Picture. But I think The Father is a well-crafted screenplay. It's much more traditional.
Yeah.
Tariq Khan, my buddy from New York, who is one of our gurus, and he is one of those profound Oscar nerds who you can test. You can say, Tariq, 1963 Best Supporting Actor, give me the nominees and winners now, and you can tick it all off. One of those kind of people.
Well, I can do that too. Do you want me to do it now?
I'm going to say right here and now, I am not one of those people.
Melvin Douglas won, but
after we finished taping
for Captain Newman, MD. Bobby Darin was out in the audience praying, if you saw the shot, but he lost to Melvin Douglas, who wasn't there, by the way, either time he won. At the
shame. Well, thanks for piping in with that, Pete. That's great. No, I love all that history stuff. I'm interested
in relevant information.
All right, here's what Tariq said. The front runner, for the past 5 years have been the following movies that did not win Best Picture: The Revenant, La La Land, Three Billboards, Roma, 1917. Were all had the precursor prizes, most of them. We have to admit, this whole voting system that the Oscars have really throws things. And I think the argument for the Trial of the Chicago 7 winning, which is my pick, is that it's going to have the most number 2s and 3s. That we're finding we totally have talked to maybe it's less than 15 Oscar voters, and I know that you've all spoken to lots of them too, and I've read your articles. Nomadland is divisive, but on the other hand, it is profound. It's certainly would have won, I think, if the election were a month ago. But Chicago 7 has the Actors Branch. It has it's a big studio production at a time when they've been winning the last couple of years. I don't know. So what if not Nomadland, what movie has the most rankings for 2 and?
Well, it's hard to say. Minari is well liked by everybody. Maybe that's a number 2 choice that sneaks in. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see, like I said before, I just don't see.
It's overwhelming for Nomadland.
Yeah,
it just is.
I think, again, I know a lot of people who are very passionate about Sound of Metal, and a lot of people
I do too. Yeah,
who are passionate about Chicago 7. But I feel like Nomadland offends nobody. I mean, Tom, you said it was divisive, but I think Promising Young Woman is divisive. But I think Nomadland is like, it's kind of a safe bet because it's like everybody likes it. So I could see that I was getting a lot of number 1 and number 2 votes, but I could also see Chicago 7 getting a lot of number 1 and number 2.
I hear a lot of arguments against Chicago 7 for not being true. A lot of people are saying that Sorkin distorted the truth beyond the realm of to such a degree that they don't believe the movie anymore. That it throws them out, and that's not good.
No, I've heard that too, but I mean, I remember like with King's Speech, there was it happens with any fact-based movie, but with King's Speech, there was a lot of thing about how his character and the whole royal family had been whitewashed. But I feel like ultimately the voters don't care. It happened with Green.
You can say that about any movie, in that regard. You can say it about Nomadland. She left out the more controversial parts of the book This is never dealing with the politics of why these people have dropped out of society, American society. We don't get that at all in this movie. It's basically a rosy picture of life on the road. See you down the road, and isn't this great? But it had controversy arise a little bit. I don't think it hurt it, about Amazon and that whole program and other things that are just skirted over at best in the movie. But that goes for anything,
Yeah.
any movie you can find an argument against almost.
Yeah, 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 and but to your point, I mean, I've heard those arguments too, Anne, but I don't know that it's going to hurt it. I will never really know unless we see the voting results, which is not going to happen.
Well, suppose people think that Trial of Chicago 7, I mean, assuming it wins Best Picture, it's going to win, it should be up for winning other things in order to demonstrate its strength.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would suggest to you that it's not going to win screenplay.
Right.
That Promising Young Woman is going to win screenplay.
I think
I
so.
suggest to you it's not going to win supporting actor. Daniel Kaluuya is going to win supporting actor. The only thing I see it winning is editing.
Yeah, it's possible, but I mean, Spotlight a few years ago won like two awards. That was
It won
a
the first
recent.
award. It won the first award of the night and the last
Yeah.
award of the
Yeah,
night.
yeah. But I mean, it's very rare for a film to get Best Picture and only win one other award. But it's happened before, and this is a weird year. So I still think it's possible for Chicago 7.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the really, really dramatic race for Best Drama Actress here. Wow. I mean, I think the consensus is, and I disagree, that Vanessa Kirby seems to be the only one who
Isn't.
is not.
I would
unlike-
suggest that Andra Day is also not in the running.
Really?
Well,
I completely discount the Globes. She
I
got
don't
nominated
blame her.
off the
I don't say
Globes.
because of the Globes. I think it's one nomination, so they have to have seen this movie. It's tougher for Vanessa Kirby and Andra Day because it's one nomination. It's the actress. That's happened. You can certainly win with that, but it's a mountain you got to climb.
And also,
there.
more people haven't seen the movie. Clearly, United States versus Billie Holiday is not as well seen, or Pieces of a Woman.
That's right. Yeah. Although Andra Day's done a really lovely campaign.
She's great.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
She has. We have heard in our vote count of actual Academy members, she's tied. Andra Day is with Viola Davis in our tally, which is, as I say, it's small, but they do seem to take it seriously. Now, my favorite, I hate it these years when I get emotionally invested in a movie like Promising Young Woman. I mean, I just care too much. It's blind. It's obscuring my punditry here. So I need your help as my friends here. Is Carrie going to win?
Yes.
Or Viola? Who's got Best Actress?
I don't know.
Viola.
I can't say it. I don't know.
No, wait, what did you say, Pete?
I can't say. I really don't know. I think you've got some very close races. And this being one of them, where it could go any which way. Carrie and Frances McDormand statistically have the best shot, probably because they're both in Best Picture nominees, as opposed to no one has ever had a Best Actor and Actress win without a Best Picture nomination.
But there's an unusual story behind Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and,
Yeah,
and,
so
and
that may be
Chadwick
an
Boseman
exception.
is an anomaly of if there
Yeah.
ever was one, and Viola won SAG. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
She beat Carey Mulligan fair and square.
Yeah, I think it's Viola Davis too. I mean, but seriously, Tom, you kind of alluded to this a little bit ago about how moods change as time passes. A month ago, I would have predicted Carey Mulligan as the winner, but I feel like the kind of momentum has gone. I feel like the heat is off of her. It's still possible, but I think it's between Viola Davis and Frances McDormand, and I'm guessing Viola Davis, but that is a guess.
I agree with you that it's Viola, and there's several reasons. One, both Carey Mulligan and Viola are both theater people. They're both respected, really admired, but Viola is beloved.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge thing here.
Yeah, it is a huge
It's
thing.
huge.
Yeah.
Plus, Netflix has done a good job of presenting the argument for making history. as the second Black woman to win Best Actress. And I think
Yeah.
people pay attention to that kind of thing. Some people don't like being told to do it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
other people listen to it and like to lean into that kind of thing. I think they will.
Well, it's entirely possible. I don't really know. I've been sticking with Carey Mulligan on this, and I probably will stay with her. It's a SAG, yeah, winning SAG. Is SAG going to have all 4 winners this year? I mean, they don't often. So and the cast award.
The only other
you know.
argument is that Ma Rainey is going to win 2 other prizes. And so
Yep.
people know that. They think that it probably will win costume and hair and makeup. So they know it's going to win something. And maybe they think it'll win Chadwick Boseman. So you could say, okay, this is Carey Mulligan's. It's very close. I'm not saying I know.
It could.
Nobody
I mean, that would be
knows in
ironic.
this race.
Does Ma Rainey become the #1 movie of the night in
I
terms
know
of wins?
possibility, because if Chloe Zhao doesn't take editing, and I'm assuming that her partner will win cinematography, so that would be 3,
Yeah.
assuming the top 3 for Nomadland.
And it doesn't win screenplay.
Right.
So
It could win
Ma
4.
Rainey, if Viola,
For a non-Best Picture nominee.
But
yeah, would
Statistically unlikely, Pete. You're right.
So I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
One is, Tom, are you traumatized at the idea that Carey Mulligan might not win? That's the first
I
question.
am. I'm just, and I'm running low on Ambien, and I can't sleep nights, and it's tearing at me.
We're gonna
We take this very
do an intervention.
seriously.
We're going to do an intervention right after the Oscars. But the other thing, we're talking about multiple wins. We're not mentioning Mank, which is the nomination leader with 10.
yeah,
I mean,
to get 1.
Do you think they'll get 1?
Production design.
Production
Yeah, right.
design. Yeah, cinematography at 1 at ASC, but that means nothing in terms of Oscars.
That's the gift.
It doesn't
It doesn't.
correlate.
I know.
First of all, it won there against Nomadland, didn't win there. That cinematographer is the only nominee at ASC not to be a member of ASC. And so that's a demerit point right there with that. And also, they love black and white at ASC. They voted Cold War best cinematography the last time as well. So they went with Mank, and all of that makes sense there, but it doesn't make sense in the scheme of
Everyone
Oscars
loves the
necessarily.
cinematography in Nomadland. I mean, that is
Yeah.
universally
Yeah, that's one of
hailed,
its strong
even if it's
points.
Terrence Malick
One of its
Magic
strong
Hour.
And it doesn't matter that the guy is not as in the club, as it were, or in the clubhouse of ASC, because the name does not appear on the ballot for the Oscars. It just says the movie. And I think you're right.
When you
I think
guys
that will.
talk to Academy members, I've been asking more of them this time around because I'm just curious. I know you're right about that, Pete. They really do tell me that they vote for the movie and not the person. That they don't think about unless it's Roger Deakins or something and he's long
Right,
overdue.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
And they make a point of that, and it's so advertised that it's in their head, but it's not available on the ballot. So Diane Warren, for instance, for Best Song, if they know this is her 12th nomination, she's never won, they're not helped with that on the ballot. It just has the name of the song and the movie.
Yeah.
But Pete, the names do appear down as far as writing, right? So for the 2 writing categories, the names are there, but then below that, there are no names. It's just category lists.
Well, for actors,
true?
the name is there.
The actors are there, the
I don't
directors
know
are there,
on
the
writing.
writers.
I don't think it's. I don't know.
The reason
don't
I
think
ask
so,
is
but,
Dave Carker has a theory that when you look back over the screenplay awards historically, the fewer people, like the winner, the movie that wins tends to have only 1 writer, numerically. So that
Well, if Borat wins, that'll set a record,
Yeah.
because that is 9 writers. That's never happened outside of the Emmys.
It's got the improv thing going against it as
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't
I'm
think of
surprised
it
it
as
was
really
nominated.
written.
It is written, and so is Nomadland. It's just that they're both perceived as not being written.
Exactly.
All right, best supporting actress. Does our buddy YJ have this hands down, or does Glenn Close win?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? I just think I'm a big fan of the Andrew Lloyd Webber Sunset Boulevard musical. I know the news just came out that Glenn is going to do the film, and it's exciting. That should be her Oscar, especially given the fact that Gloria Swanson couldn't win that year, that she should have won the Oscar. And part of me thinks,
Well, I worry about Andrew Lloyd Webber's film track record, first of all, before you start
That's
having
true.
an Oscar for
That's
Sunset
true.
Boulevard. You know, the Phantom of the Opera and Cats, didn't exactly
enhance his profile at the movies. It's going to be Youn, and it's got to be Youn, and it seems to be universally supported. I haven't found anyone who isn't voting for Youn.
Yeah,
It had to be Youn. Yeah, you're about
Very
to
good
sing
pick.
it. And it's before she won SAG, I had already had to predict my thing for our digital edition, and I predicted her. And then she started winning, and then it became a certain thing. But all you have to do is talk to anybody that's voting. Oh, I love that grandma. Oh, she's
They
so
can't
funny.
remember
Didn't you
her
love
name,
speech at
but they
BAFTA?
know who she is.
Yeah.
And Minari,
Well, she says
this is the
YJ.
win for Minari. I mean, they love. You're right,
This is
Pete. They love
definitely-
Minari.
I would double bet. I would use Gold Derby's double bet thing, and I would do a double bet on that category that she's going to win it. And I would have not said that a month ago, maybe
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was a up in the air category. It's become as much a lock as Daniel Kaluuya is on the other side.
Give the indie
supporting-
spirits credit for all those Minari nominations, because it was after that that people started voting for Minari.
Yeah. So
Started seeing it.
So everybody agrees YJ is
Yeah.
the supporting actress, and but you mentioned Daniel Kaluuya for supporting actor. Are you guys unanimous on that?
Sure.
almost.
Yeah, I'm almost.
A little bit of me thinks if there is a Chicago 7 thing that happens, this is where Sacha Baron Cohen could pop up. I think he's the most impressive thing about the film, but Daniel Kaluuya is
he's the most
choice. It's his moment. It's his performance. It's a lead role in a supporting category. It's all those things. He's got that mojo.
I think it's just he's going to win and finally get to appear with a background other than those pipes in the back of his head.
We've memorized everybody's locations now.
Well, he's been in LA. He's been in LA for weeks. And wherever he's staying, he's got those pipes and things and all of that going on. So, yeah.
Why, Tim? Did you think it was someone else?
Well, I'm tending toward Daniel Kaluuya, but I keep thinking Paul Raci for Sound of Metal.
That could happen.
If
He's popular. He'll win the Spirit on Thursday
Yeah, I
night.
think so.
Yeah.
And if actors were the only ones voting, I could see that. He's a journeyman. He's
Yeah.
that kind of dream thing for
Yeah.
actors, a guy that's been in LA theater for 40 years and all of that. And
The child of deaf parents.
Yeah,
the
story is
second
really
language
good.
is
Yeah.
English. Yeah.
It's really good. If Daniel Kaluuya wasn't so overwhelming, but if there is an upset, I think you're right, Tim. It could be there because Sound of Metal has a lot of fans out there.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
talked to so many who point out that movie and may want to find a way out, in a major category, not for crafts or things, to give it something. So
I think it'll win sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too.
And I wonder if it could win editing. I mean,
Well, it
I'm
could.
saying
Yeah.
Chicago. When I say that Chicago could win nothing, it's because Sound of Metal could win editing
It
instead.
could. There's no question.
I have
you
it
know.
down at winning that. Yeah, they went for both.
They often go together.
They went
yeah.
with
Although
Whiplash.
we did see Trial of the Chicago 7 pretty strong this weekend in these precursor shows.
I know.
Yeah.
The steak eater vote.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
it's important. It's important. So I wouldn't discount that. But yeah, it's interesting.
So for makeup and hairstyling, I think we all have Ma Rainey, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Design makes sense.
Makeup and I guess costumes. I finally come over to that.
Emma's so much better, but
And I
nobody
had
saw
picked
Emma.
It's in my original picks, but
I've been picking it, and then I had to change it because
not
nobody's seen it.
Yeah, I've got to take it away from that. And we didn't do actor because Anthony Hopkins, if anybody has a chance of pulling off an upset, it's him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Possible.
But do you think Pete, do you think he does have a chance of winning?
I do. I think he's got a chance. I think it's the same thing. I know Chadwick's winning, so that gives them license to vote elsewhere in their
Yeah.
own minds.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in action here.
I've
And I
spoken
think
to a lot of people who are voting for Hopkins.
I know, and probably all of them think Chadwick's going to win, but this is how you have an upset. And a lot of them think Anthony Hopkins, this is the role of his career. They look at it that way, and they all have their own experiences with a dimension one way or another.
Yeah.
And so it's got a personal thing going for it, The Father, to actually be a movie that surprises at the Oscars. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes. For about half of yesterday, I switched my Chadwick prediction to over to him and then switched back. I think what made me switch back was the thought that a lot of Hollywood voters probably think Anthony Hopkins has tons of Oscars, when in fact he's got the one, of course.
Well, he goes on shows and says, "Oh, it was so easy for me. I've been at this a long time, and it's he so underplays it. I love that. That
Yeah,
he was charming on Colbert on Monday night.
He did it again on Colbert on Monday. Yeah, I know."
All right, so I'm just going to keep flipping through these categories here. Best score is Soul, right?
Yeah.
Okay, song is song.
I don't know.
Well,
it's Leslie Odom.
Yeah, I think it's Leslie Odom too.
Well, I'm putting that too, but his name again doesn't appear on the ballot.
No. But I can't remember the name of the song.
Performing and he's honestly, I'm not hearing a lot of enthusiasm for any of the songs. It's not like there's one song everybody loves that we all know about.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
There is, tell me.
I wouldn't. Not one of those songs would surprise me as winning. I would not be surprised if any of them won, Husavik included. It stands out because it's not, they tried to make the Diane Warren song seem socially relevant and things, but it's really about people, immigrants, not being seen and that sort of thing. But they're trying to make it relevant like the other songs. Fight for you, and I'll do this. Speak out now, and go for it, and jump up and hear my voice, and they're all running together in that sense. So
I think Leslie Odom stands out as Sam Cooke, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that. If they know that, that's cool. And that's who I picked to win here, but we shall see. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so wait a minute. So do we think the song from Eurovision could win?
Well, it was written for a song contest, so it is
right. It's unlike all the others.
Yeah, it is also all of the others are end credit songs. All of them except this Whovision. I'm getting it wrong. The Eurovision one.
Eurovision.
And the people I know who have seen it, 3 people have all said it's fantastic. And
it's a centerpiece.
Yeah.
It is. If you're going to say best original song, this is a song that's truly, into it. But how many?
The others are so simpler. The fight back, the stand up, the roar, the things. I think it's got a real good shot of winning. It's my number one.
Yeah.
Best Sound of Metal. Those Oscar voters are kind of literal sometimes, aren't they? Like, so the Sound Award should go to the movie with the sound in it. But
and music score often goes to something that screams music in its title, soul.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Visual effects, we're all on board at Gold Derby for Tenet. Can Midnight Sky or Minari take it down?
No, I think it's
Mulan.
I would say that the one that is the spoiler is the Love and Monsters one.
Boy, that would be a spoiler. I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either. But people who let's assume that everybody doesn't just vote for Tenet, because but think about it. A lot of people haven't seen any of those movies. So the people who are voting for it are the people who actually are in the visual effects branch.
Right. All right.
I mean, I just think the visual effects in Tenet are so spectacular. It's hard not to vote for it. But again, it depends on whether everybody's seen it.
I
If
don't
I
think
was
you should be voting in the category unless you've seen all 5.
Yeah, that would be ideal. If I was voting, I would vote for the one and only Ivan because I thought that came to life with those animals and it made it work in a way that, worked for me as a film. So that's where I would go. But I don't think Academy members have watched that movie.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think they've seen Tenet either.
No, they haven't.
I don't think they know that it would when it finally went on,
Showed up on the portal.
on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best animated feature, Soul seems to be, miles ahead, but Wolfwalkers is stalking it. Any chance for an upset?
I don't see one.
I mean, there's always a chance, but I'd be really surprised. I mean, I think it's Soul.
Yeah.
Documentary feature, Octopus is way ahead in all of the Gold Derby projections, but there are some people who strongly disagree with that. Crip Camp, among the more journalist type of pundit, seems to be their favorite. The early critics liked Time a lot. Collective.
That's a critic's favorite, but it's not a mainstream one.
What
No,
Time?
I don't see any of those winning other than Octopus Teacher at this point.
Well, what
Camp
about
would have been
Collective,
a perfect one for the Academy, but nothing competes with Octopus Teacher.
No, I
Now, why do you say nothing competes with it? Because it's kind of softer and more emotional.
emotion. That's it.
It's also
mean,
pandemic. It somehow touched people very deeply. Something
it
about the
did,
connection with the alien octopus
And
underwater.
when I talk to people, they go like, "Yeah, I was for Collective, or I was for this one, or something." And then I saw Octopus Teacher.
Oh no, they just lose their brains as soon as they, it's like they go gormless over it.
Yeah.
It's got the emotion lotion going for it.
Oh, that's a great one. This help me out with Best International Film, because the director of Another Round happens to be up for Best Director, it seems to give that film an edge. I have not seen these films. I'm behind on this category.
So is everybody else.
So is everybody else, yeah. But
I've seen them except for Hong Kong. I have not seen that one.
I've seen all of them, and I really think that I thought that Quo Vadis, Aida would win until Another Round got a nomination for director, and the reason I'm thinking Another Round will take it is because of Mads Mikkelsen. It's a good movie. I love it. I love the movie, but it's Mads Mikkelsen. It's more likely to be seen.
I know.
And it's also got a very, very emotional story behind it.
Vinterberg's loss of his daughter,
and he's very well liked. So I think it's going to be Another Round. However, the Academy voters I've talked to about this category, all of them have said Aida, Quo Vadis, Aida.
Yes, is the standout. Watch these 5
it's an
by
interesting
5.
question because there's no way of telling who's seen all 5, and if it's just the small group that participated and saw Aida, then it could win. But if it's the bigger group, then it's, don't you think the popular one will be Another Round?
Another Round would be, I would think, the popular one. But for those who have seen the films, like you said, I do think Quo Vadis. Boy, I haven't talked to one person that in that category that picks anything
Crazy
else.
about it. I know.
But are you saying they voted for it or they're predicting it?
No, they're voting for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a sleeper that could pull through, the Aida one. Best animated short. I always go for the one with the happiest title. And here we've got If Anything Happens, I Love You.
That is not the
That's
happiest movie.
actually the saddest one. It's the one that will win.
That's I think that'll probably win. But that is definitely a downer.
A devastating
Yeah,
movie.
it does. It sounds like a sweet, heartwarming little animated movie.
It's about a school shooting,
Yeah.
But you don't know that. And you're spoiling it.
Uh-oh. Just members of this jury watching, pretend you didn't hear that. Strike that from the record.
Right behind it is Genius
Loci.
yes, and then Opera, and then Burrow, and then
I mean, I love opera.
Burrow's the most likable of it.
Yeah.
That's the Pixar one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Pixar often wins, but I don't think so this time.
I think if people are just so depressed by all the other movies they've watched and things, and they get to that category and they go, "Oh God," and they're watching, "Geez, I can't take it anymore." They will vote for Burl, but
Opera's really cool. That's my
opera
favorite.
visually is
Mm.
astounding, but they're gonna go, I don't know what the hell that movie's about,
It's
but
like one
it's
of my anonymous ballot people described it as a Hieronymus Bosch painting come to life. That's as good as you're gonna get.
I mean, if you're looking visually and just strictly visually, that one really is
Yeah.
some
Okay, documentary short.
all
Emotion is big here. A love song for Letitia is out front, and then Concerto is a conversation, and then Do Not Split, and then Colette, and then Hunger World.
Colette is the Holocaust
Yeah.
entry this
Very
year.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doubly nominated.
I picked Concerto, actually, I think, in this category, but it could be anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I really liked also Do Not Split from Hong Kong. I mean, that has a real urgency to it about the Hong Kong protests.
I think that gives it an edge. I'm actually wondering if that might not do well for that reason.
Yeah.
It's very, very disturbing and
Yeah.
urgent, as you say.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pete, what do you like about the Concerto one?
It's Chris Bowers and his father and the history, and it's very nice. Ava DuVernay is very behind it, and I just I don't know. It's a toss-up to me in this
Yeah.
category, so I just picked it. They also sent a hanger as a little promotional item.
I
and,
kept it.
Yeah. So
It's a sweet movie. I found, it's a lovely movie, but it feels, compared to some of the others, it just feels a little bit slight.
and it may be, or it may have an advantage that way because the others split.
Yeah.
So, or to use it.
Latasha has a lot of support too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
So
current
we'll see.
pick.
Yeah, it's Netflix. That one. Yeah.
Last night I spent about at least 25, 30 minutes with best live action short, moving my little predictions around up and down. And I finally just, I have a lot of trouble with this category. And so do all of our experts. We're split all over the place between Two Distant Strangers is currently out front, but right behind it is, these are the experts at Gold Derby, The Letter Room, and then Feeling Through, then The Present, then White Eye. Do any of you guys feel strongly that one of these is the front runner?
I
No.
don't know that there's a front runner, but
No, The Letter has a lot of support. So does Two Distant Strangers. They're all worthy. Personally, I think White Eye is the best movie, the one take Palestinian film.
Personally, I
about the
think
bicycle thief.
the Palestinian film.
Oh, that's mine is the Israeli. Yours is the Palestinian is the
Palestinian
present.
film is The Present, which I predicted because just watching them, I said, well, this is how I would vote. I just thought that was really good, and I would go there. But I think Two Distant Strangers, with the George Floyd background and all that happening yesterday, how many votes were still out that might have come in at the last minute for that? I don't know.
It's beautifully done. They're all good.
Yeah, they are.
I would vote for The President. I just thought that was an amazing story.
But Oscar Isaac was great in The Letter too. People
and
could
his wife
respond to him.
directed it. It's a lot of women directing these movies, by the way. The President is directed by a woman, and in a lot of categories, a big year for women in all of these categories. So,
did I miss any categories? I've been jumping around here.
I don't think so. I think you ran through almost all of them.
What has he missed? I don't think he's missed anything.
No.
What's our prediction about the show itself? I love all the fact that there's mystique about it, and they're going to take all these artistic chances, and a lot of it sounds stupid, which often means it's brilliant or stupid, and they're creating a sense of enough suspense to make us want to watch it for that reason. We know
I'm
it
excited,
should
but
be
I'm just
done.
afraid it's going to be this really small group of people that actually cares. You know,
Yeah.
I made a
Yeah.
joke that it was going to be the staff of Indiewire and Variety and Deadline watching. You know,
Right.
we're the ones who are really invested. But
Well,
I'm joking. But it's going to be small. It'll be
Yeah,
lovely.
I mean,
Pete,
I
you were
think-
on that thing this morning.
I
right?
know. The set is
It
great.
sounds beautiful.
The whole thing, what they've done to transform Union Station, and it's a very tasteful. It's very interesting to have just these little pods where it's just the nominee and their guests sitting together, and it's very socially distanced. But it doesn't feel like that. We'll see
It's
how
not going to
actually
have
plays
that sort of big stage feel that we're accustomed
No,
to.
they've
No,
taken
I
over
mean,
the ticket counter to, put the stage on platforms and things. It's interesting.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think for us who have a vested interest in watching it, it's going to be really interesting because basically every Oscar show has been followed the same format since 1953. And they've been tweaked this and that, but this is going to be like a real rethinking. But I think the general public probably is not even aware that the Oscars are on April 25th.
Right.
And if they are aware, I don't know how interested they are. I think the ratings are going to be pretty dismal. But, I mean, I'll be curious to see what the ratings are, but I'm really looking forward to the show because I think, even if some of the stuff falls flat, it's still going to be an interesting show.
I just wish we could go. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Pete, when they were describing all those outdoor
Oh, it sounded great.
terraces and
Oh, it
everything,
looked great.
and with
Where
the
the bar,
flower
I kept looking, oh, there's
ceilings,
the
and
bar.
I,
They have a
I,
piano.
I want to go. I want to
They've got
be
a
there.
DJ.
There's a small group
Yeah.
of press on their red carpet, and I'm jealous.
Yeah, it looks fun, but we're
We'll
not
be
going.
home
Yeah.
in our PJs as usual.
The general public hasn't seen these movies. The whole pandemic, they're saying they're not going to use Zoom. They're going to use a higher grade camera, at least for all these remote shots. But yet they also have us confused about whether or not it's going to be told like a movie. Soderbergh said that at one point.
Yeah.
No, he's making it a movie in his
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they cast it like a movie. They did all this, and
On air talent doesn't have to wear a mask.
yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't surprise me.
Yeah. No, that.
Why would they wear a
it's-
mask if they're on? Most people aren't on television doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would
Yeah.
be very bad if they were forced to all wear masks, presenting and things. That would just look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they don't need to. My God, they're going through 3 tests each, and
Temperature text.
vaccinations
Yeah.
and all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're all vaccinated anyway.
yeah, but it'll be fun, and then it'll be over, and then we'll be on the Emmys, which is where I am now anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just want this weekend over. Okay, my friends. Well, good luck to all of you. Thank you for playing Gold Derby. I wish you win, all of you. Those of you watching and listening to the podcast version of this, make your predictions now and see if you can beat the experts and our editors. And come on, I know some of you can do it. Some of you have proven it often in the past. So do it again. Show us experts that you are the smartest prognosticator in Hollywood. I dare you.
Mhm.
Bye all.
All right. Thanks.
Darn.
Tom, send this to me, like, hopefully tomorrow.